Hey, have you ever heard somebody tell you that you need to brand yourself and not your company, or just work on branding you? Um, when I started in this industry, I had no idea what that meant. And it wasn't up until, I don't know, months ago that I actually did some research and really learned what it meant to brand yourself. And something that somebody told me kind of really took me back, and I was so confused by it. So I want to help you guys. And I feel like so many of us get stuck with plastering our company name all over the place, and we end up causing so much resistance, and we can't figure out why people aren't buying from us. And so that's really why I wanted to create this video, share some tips about branding yourself and simplify it for you. Now I'm going to tell you something, and it might not be something that you can swallow easily, but you need to do it. So one, stop plastering your company name all over the place. You need to just really, you should eliminate your company name altogether from your Facebook or whatever social platform you're using. And the reason is because you really do need to brand you, and you need to focus on adding value. And when you have your company name all over the place, it will automatically cause resistance. And then what happens if you're trying to recruit people and they know what company you're with, they're going to go to Google and they're going to either find out information about the company. And anytime you Google anything about any type of network marketing company, there's always those bloggers that say network marketing is a scam. So that's all they're going to read. They might read positive things about it, but all they're going to retain is the negative. They're going to do the same thing with your product. So if you have a good health shake or the best foundation, they're still going to go to Google and they're going to find something bad about it. And that's all they're going to retain is that negative aspect. Unfortunately, that's human nature. So when you can eliminate that, then it forces people to come to you and does several things. One, it gives you the opportunity to build that relationship with them if you haven't had a relationship with them yet. And then two, it ends up finding their need. And then you can figure out if that product you were advertising or if this business opportunity is even right for them. I always tell my teammates, don't, just because you're advertising something and somebody comes to you saying that they're interested in it, it doesn't mean that that's the right product for them. So don't sell them just anything to get a sale. You genuinely want to have their best interest, because if you sell somebody something for wrinkles and they don't have wrinkles and they don't even care to prevent it, then they're never going to be a returning customer, because that product didn't do what they wanted it to do anyways, because that's not the initial reason they even bought it. So keep that in mind. If you have just a multivitamin shake and people are expecting to lose weight from it, then they're never going to come back to you, because their expectations for that product wasn't actually what they needed and wanted with that product. So always find their need. And when you have that curiosity and you leave out your company name, then it forces them to come to you. And some of you might be sitting there thinking, okay, well, I'm already branded. I'm the unique rep. I'm the crazy rap lady with It Works. I'm the Beachbody coach. No, you don't want to be tied to anything with your company name. You want to be a makeup guru. You want to be a fitness coach or a life coach, or stuff like that. You don't want to be tied to your company name, because think about it. What happens if, and this happens often, unfortunately, that companies shut down? Okay, so that's a real reality that some of us might eventually face, is that our companies might shut down. If that happens, or let's say that something happens within your company and you don't want to be with them anymore. If that happens, you have now branded yourself to that company, and to switch companies is going to be very, very difficult. If you've branded yourself and not your company, it will be very easy to make that switch. So, for example, if you are a crazy rap lady with It Works, and you end up leaving that company and you go to Unique. That's a big difference. You're now selling makeup, but to make that switch over is not going to be a very smooth transition. But if you brand yourself and you start talking about things that add value to people, talk about things that interest you, what are you passionate about? And it doesn't have to be just one thing. If you like to cook healthy recipes, talk about, share the recipes, do live videos. If you like to do makeup tutorials. If you do arts and crafts, do arts and crafts videos, or stuff like that. And you can do it all. Like, as a if you're a health and fitness coach, you can still do videos on arts and crafts. You can still do videos on makeup and still do videos on healthy foods. It doesn't have to be necessarily one thing, because if you end up switching companies later down the road, you don't want to be tied to just one aspect either. And you want to make sure you know what your audience is liking from you too. Does that make sense? And like, everything that you do needs to be adding value. It needs to be positive. It has to be something that's going to be entertaining, and just honestly, like, what's the problem that you're trying to fix for this person? So when you're doing your posting, that's what you really want to be thinking about is, this product fixes this for that person. And, so if you're just throwing up, we'll use a weight loss shake. Okay. What does your product do for me that a GNC product wouldn't do for me? What is so great about your product? Why should I want it? And how is it really going to benefit me? And you have to be talking about the benefits. And you can actually do this without even mentioning your product names. I've done several videos doing stuff like this without even mentioning product names. You can still mention your product name if you like, but it has to be value driven, because if you're adding value and people are soaking it up, and then you at the end, you can have a call to action how to get that product. People are going to be less resistant if they know that you genuinely care and that they're actually learning things from you. They're going to be more likely to buy from you. So have you ever done any type of a webinar with any of these top earners in the industry? If you've noticed that they always do like an hour-long webinar, they just rack your brain with all these super good tips on how to build your business. And then at the end, they have a call to action with one of their offers. So you can either get more webinars for a special price or something like that. But it doesn't sting, because they've given so much information to us. And that's how we need to be as network marketers. We need to be providing value to our audience. And not just be like, buy me, buy this, buy that, because that's a turnoff. And people are going to end up checking that unfollow button, which ends up hurting you in the Facebook algorithms. And then people aren't seeing your posts. So, and I also see a lot of people putting their company name in their name on Facebook. I also see a lot of profile pictures of the product or the company name. And if you're trying to send out friend requests, every time you get a friend request, somebody goes and they look through your profile, and if they just see spam, they're probably not going to accept your friend request, because they know you're going to try and sell to them, and nobody comes to Facebook to be sold to. It's annoying. People don't like it, but if they are learning from you, that's a different story. If you're entertaining, that's a different story. If you're worthy of being followed, it's a different story. You can still, behind the scenes, be connecting with people and selling your products if you have a good call to action, and if you branded yourself well, you will still be able to sell your products. And then if anything was to happen in the long run, like you switch companies or your company shut down, then you are not stuck with a rough transition. You know, it happens all the time. We always switch companies or we take on multiple ones. But the reality is, like, it's probably going to happen. So you have to make sure you brand you and not your company. Your company does not need branded. Your company already has the branding that it needs. You need to brand you and make yourself more attractive to build a following, which then, which then correlates with attraction marketing. And that's what we all want. We all want to be attractive to people for them to come to us, right? So that's really what I wanted to tell you. And I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But it's all about curiosity, creating curiosity and branding yourself. I mean, really and truly. And your profile should not be just all business related. You really need to have a good, happy medium with business posts and personal posts. And the other thing I want to say is that I've gotten a lot of friend requests from people who have a personal profile that's set up as a business profile, and they'll have in their bio saying, this is my business account. Now, if that company had shut down or that person switches company, that whole profile needs revamped, deleted, because they have been just spammed after spam. Plus, that's against Facebook regulations. It's actually against Facebook regulations to be promoting your products on your personal profile. We need to be taking that to our business pages. But if you are adding value and doing it in a different way where you're not actually selling, that is different. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I hope so. So I'm going to leave you with that. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you got some value and this helped you. Have a good one.